Hi, this is Mr. L on the Mr. L Radio Show. We are back on a new year at the last day of the new year. Are you there, Kingdom Diva?
Yes, the Kingdom
Hello?
Diva is here.
Okay, we are live right now. Could you believe it? We're back. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yes, we are back this year. Took a little break here. About a month, huh?
Yeah, about 6 weeks, I think.
It's well worth it to take that break. But we're here tonight. We're talking about, can you provide a lap of love? I think a lot of people like the picture, so we're going to definitely talk about that tonight. But if you're logging on, you can call in at 646-478-5963. That's 646-478-5963. Tonight's subject is, can you provide a lap of love? As you all know, you can reach me on Mr. L Radio Show. You can reach me at facebook.com/Mr. L Radio Show. You can also reach me at Twitter at Mr. L Radio Show. And you can definitely inbox me at those locations. But tonight, I'm excited tonight as we talk about, can you provide a lap of love? What do you think that we're going to talk about? What do you think that's going to be talking about tonight, Kingdom Diva?
Well, I have my ideas. According to the photo, it looks like a place where you can rest, a place where you can feel safe. So can't wait to hear your take on it.
Ooh, yeah, me too. I can't wait to hear it too. But tonight, as we talk about this subject tonight about, can you provide a lap of love, one of the most important things, as we always state with the Mr. A Radio Show from Concession, is love always starts within first. So that's the first most important thing. You must love yourself. If you don't love yourself, what happens is it makes it even harder for someone else to love you or to accept you because you have not accepted yourself. That's always the first premise we always start with, is about loving yourself first. So what's so interesting is this, about having a lap of love. It's so much to that. It's amazing. It's amazing, too. It's amazing. And I've lost the words. Did you believe that?
Talking about love will make you lose the words sometimes. I can identify with that.
Well, what I'm getting at is this, is that, okay, I see you in the chat room. What's so important is this. When can you provide a lap of love? Can you provide a place where either the male or the female can actually come to, where they don't have to pretend to be the superhero, where they can actually be the Clark Kent, or they can actually be the Lois Lane, and they can actually be themselves without judgment, without fear, without trepidation, but just completely be themselves. As we were talking earlier today, you brought up a good example about Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King. And can you explain that a little bit? Because I think that's so applicable to what we're talking about now.
I met a man. He was someone who obviously spotted me at an event and came to introduce himself to me, and we became friends. And during one of our conversations, he told me something that I remember very clearly today. And what he said was that I was a Coretta Scott kind of woman. And when he said it, it made me feel very good because we all have heard the adage that behind every successful man is a strong woman. So for somebody to consider you, Coretta Scott, like being the wife of the great Martin Luther King Jr., it just made me feel real good. So, but the more I thought about it, I have heard these stories that even though Martin Luther was a very great man with a great mission, that he was known to have other women in his life. So I'm not sure, I'm not saying it's true, but the thought just occurred to me, if he needed to go outside of his marriage to find a place where he could be who he needed to be outside of the name and all the responsibility of Martin Luther King, be it family, national crisis, the struggle of the African-American people in the United States, all that stuff. If he needed to go outside of his marriage for that, then who was the woman that he was choosing to spend that time with? And that just got me in a different way. Do I really want to be Coretta, or do I want to be the woman where a man can come and be who he is and need that place, and I can provide that for him? So that was the thought that I shared earlier today.
Right. I think that's so important because in the society that we live in now, we have both men and women who are actually, I forgot about the time. We have men and women who are actually in career mode, and what happens is we forget. So many times people forget how to come home and actually begin to have a place where they can actually unwind, they can share, they can expose themselves without being judged. And we'll think that we'll think that in this case, whether true or false, we don't know, so no King relatives and nothing come and try to get me or whatever. Wherever the case may have been, the thing of it is that why would he in particular, as there was another man, go outside when he had seemingly everything inside that he needed? It makes me think of an old example of in this book, this very ancient book that we both know of a man who was very powerful, and he had a wife, but yet he messed around with prostitutes. And he messed around with prostitutes, and yet he still had his wife he came home to. But it was only one woman that really got, and he found the secrets to his true powers. And what she did was she got him to lay in her lap. And he would go out to battle and fight different warriors and fight different battles and kill 300 men at a time, or however many men at a time. But he never had a place to go rest at. So she offered a place for him to come after the battle. And I think when we look at a lack of love, we think, where can I come in after the battles of life, stress, bills, kids, getting older, or whatever it may be, and I can lay my heart down and get re-energized and renewed so that I can go back and do what I do again. But the dangerous thing about this particular woman was this. She took the secrets to his heart and used it against him. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing I think that every man somewhat and every woman somewhat fears, is that if I open up and share this intimate part with me, will it be used against me on a later date for my demise? So can you provide a lap of love is simply this. Can you provide a nestle or a nest or an area where your mate or potential mate can actually sit down and actually allow their heart to blossom like a flower, like a red flower, blossoming at springtime, a red rose particularly to blossom and open up at springtime and actually be who they are. And I think what happens is a lot of people are carrying a lot of baggage and they're not allowing themselves